Alright, everyone, get in the chat. If you guys are watching this live, get in the chat. If you're watching this afterwards, skip a couple seconds. You guys know the drill here. Good to see everybody. Alright, let's get it. Alrighty. Yo, what up, everybody? It is your boy, Fitzmon TV here, aka GLauren33. I want to welcome you guys back here to the Legit Shoot podcast, here with your Monday Night Raw review and results for February 17th, 2020. I hope you guys had a great Monday. It's good to be back doing our thing as always, man. Couple of quick nuggets before we get into tonight's Monday Night Raw. Raw just ended a couple seconds ago. I'm trying to go live right as Raw goes off the air because, I feel like that's better for us on the channel. I eventually want us to get to the point where, I don't have to do reviews live. I can just post them. But I don't think we're at that point yet. Plus, one of the reasons why I love doing live Raw reviews is because I get to see the interaction with you guys in the chat. But yeah, we've definitely had a bunch of new subscribers over the weekend. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to slap that like button and subscribe. If you guys enjoy the review, if you guys, enjoy what you're seeing, I go live every single Monday for Raw reviews. I cover NXT pay-per-views, WWE pay-per-views. I do SmackDown reviews on Fridays and Saturday mornings, stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Plus, I cover anime, gaming content. I do a little bit of sports here and there. But the main thing on this channel is wrestling and anime content. For any new viewers, because I know we definitely have some new subscribers from over the weekend. It's been a very good week for us on the channel. I like the growth. The SmackDown review did pretty well. A Kid Rant's good to see you. Junior, it's good to see you as well. Everybody else in the chat, make sure to say hello when you guys get here. But yeah, a couple quick nuggets. If you guys haven't checked out my SmackDown review, we talked about the Valentine's Day episode of SmackDown Live, which was actually the best episode of SmackDown so far this year. SmackDown has been in a slump in January, but definitely, they came out with a pretty decent show on Valentine's Day, which is also surprising because we know, if history has taught us anything, WWE does not have a good track record when it comes to holiday shows. Just look at their Christmas and Thanksgiving and Memorial Day shows in the past. But this was actually a good holiday show. I still feel bad for my boy Otis, who got his heart crushed by Mandy Rose when Dolph Ziggler stole his date for Valentine's Day. So I'm definitely very intrigued to see what happens on SmackDown this Friday. See how they continue that storyline. What happens? Can Mandy earn Otis's trust back, or is something else happened, or Dolph and Mandy Rose now are a thing? It's going to be very interesting. But yeah, also, if you guys hadn't checked out my NXT TakeOver Brooklyn review, alright, that was a banger of a review last night. NXT TakeOver, why am I saying Brooklyn? NXT TakeOver Portland review from last night. That was a fantastic show, man. One of the best NXT TakeOvers I've ever seen, man. Watched that show from start to finish. Absolutely loved it. So if you haven't checked out my NXT TakeOver Portland review, make sure to check that out right after the Raw review. No matter if you're watching this live or later on. But, either way, thank you guys for joining me here tonight on the podcast. As always, guys, follow me down on social media. I live tweet during Raw, SmackDown, NXT. So definitely, if you guys want to chat with me outside of the podcast, outside of the YouTube videos, I'm very active on social media. Just ask some of the members of the chat. I will do my best to answer you back. Sometimes, I'm pretty busy. I work and I have school and all that other good stuff. But for the most part, I try to do a decent job of getting back to you guys when you guys try to text me on social media. Unless you send me something like really stupid, then I probably won't, respond, just because I have a history of, I've been hacked a couple times and I don't like, interacting with people that I don't know. So if you guys do message me on social media, just make sure you let me know who you are, if you're a subscriber, how long you've been subscribed, stuff like that, because I can be a little bit picky about who the people I communicate with on social media and stuff like that. But other than that, guys, I'm ready to get into Monday Night Raw tonight. I hope you guys are as well. this was a decent show tonight. There was things I loved about this show. Mainly Randy Orton. Randy Orton right now, in my opinion, is probably the best heel in all of WWE. What's he doing right now with this storyline with Edge on the road to WrestleMania is absolutely fantastic. They gave me some hints tonight of where they're going with this storyline. They kind of gave me a hint tonight of why Randy Orton did what he did, even though they still haven't given us that reason yet. And I'm not complaining. I've said this the last couple weeks since Randy Orton did that attack on Edge. About I think it's been 3 weeks now. Time's going by fast, man. Time is flying by. We're already in the later stages of February. March, we got Super Showdown next week. We got the Elimination Chamber a week after Super Showdown, basically a week and a half after Super Showdown, and then we have a month till WrestleMania. So time is going by fast. I'm telling you, man, once we get the Super Showdown, once Super Showdown is out of the way, we have eliminate, that's when the real road to WrestleMania starts, because then we're going to get, a crystallization of the card, the storylines, and that's when stuffs are really going to heat up. I can tell each and every single week we can see WWE planting the seeds of what they're doing with the WrestleMania card, and this card is going to be absolutely stacked. It's probably going to be unfortunate because there's going to be names left off the WrestleMania card. Or they're, very talented individuals that are going to be forced to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Because the WWE main roster is just so stacked. So stacked. There's so many big names on the main roster that it's impossible to get everybody on the card. It's a real problem. I, kind of believe that WWE should probably adapt this, mentality. Maybe, they split WrestleMania into, a 2-night event. I feel like it might eventually get to that point. Because, with NXT, there's so many big name superstars from NXT. It's getting to the point now where, it's getting harder and harder for WWE to book WrestleMania cards because you want everybody on that card, but you can't give everyone, their own singles match or tag team match or, spot to shine. Because the roster is just so loaded, But I just wanted to, note that real quick. But back... circling back to Randy Orton, man. Randy Orton versus Edge. I'm loving this storyline. What Randy Orton is doing right now, he, in my opinion, is the best heel on the main roster. He's right up there with what Adam Cole's doing down in NXT. Probably the best heel, and, I'll probably say Finn Balor as well. I'm not going to say Bray Wyatt because I consider Bray Wyatt to be more of a tweener than a heel. But right now, what Randy Orton's doing, he's probably doing the best work of any heel in WWE. What up, Jennifer Gomez? Good to see you in the chat. Sleeping Angels. Good to see you, bro. I kind of gotta disagree. I think it was a decent show. It wasn't perfect. All right. I don't think I'm gonna say it's better than last week's show because there were some things I didn't like. But overall, it was a decent show. It was a watchable show. Let's say that this Raw is definitely watchable, especially with some of the segments we saw tonight. All right. But the thing, I see what you guys are saying in the chat about WrestleMania being split into 2 parts. I'm just saying it's something that should be considered because they do that with Wrestle Kingdom, and look how successful Wrestle Kingdom is every single year. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that it's gonna get to a point. It's gonna get to the point now where the card is just so loaded. Come on, it's hard to get through these 7-8 hour shows. WrestleMania was 7 hours last year. And I understand, yes, it's the biggest, show of the year. But still, man, 7 hours of wrestling. And plus, you can't get every big name on the show. I said this on the SmackDown review. What is Daniel Bryan going to do at WrestleMania? Honestly, I don't know what's your plan for Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Unless, put him into the... Universal Championship picture again. I'm just trying to figure out. Before we get into Randy Orton's segment, I'm just gonna do this really quick. I'm gonna do this almost every single week, every single podcast. I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown what to expect from WrestleMania. You have your 2 championship matches, right? We don't know. We know it's most likely to be McIntyre versus Lesnar for the WWE title, and for the Universal title, it's gonna be. We don't really know. It could be a mix of either Goldberg versus Cena, even though I'm hearing rumors of Cena versus Elias. And I pray we don't get that because that's really underwhelming. I feel like that would be really bad for Elias because Elias is doing great as a babyface right now. And I really don't want to see Elias, have to be turned heel just to feud with Cena. Because Elias ain't beating Cena at WrestleMania. We both know that's not happening. And you can give Cena a way better match in Tampa. But back to the, Universal title, you could have, it's going to be a mix of some kind of combination of either Cena, Reigns, Goldberg, and Wyatt. I don't know how they're going to do it. They could do a Fatal 4-Way, which I'm not against. I'm not against a Fatal 4-Way, but I feel like anything that's not the Fiend versus Roman, I would take at this point for the Universal title. But, yeah, that's 2 matches right there. You're going to have probably 2 tag team title matches. Probably the tag team title matches will most likely be on the pre-show just to save time, right? So that's 4 matches already. You're going to have 3 women's title matches now that you're having the NXT title defended on this show because of the Charlotte Flair agenda. You're going to have Becky Lynch defending against Shayna Baszler most likely. And most likely Bayley and Sasha finally getting their dream match at WrestleMania. So that's 3 matches right there. So you're already up to 7 matches. All right. Then if the IC title and the United States title, because most likely all WWE titles get defended at WrestleMania, other than the Cruiserweight and the NXT, and you guys know what happens there. But we're already at 7 matches. IC and US titles get defended. That's already 9 matches. All right, for basically just for title matches. Then you put on top of that the one-on-one matches. The non-title matches. Orton versus Edge, you're at 10 matches. We're hearing rumors of AJ Styles versus The Undertaker. That's 11 matches. All right? And I'm probably missing a couple. So we're already at near 11 matches. So there's probably going to be a couple other matches added on top of that. If they kept it at about 11 matches, that would be, a good spot to end it. You have the Andre the Giant, and then you have the Women's Battle Royal matches, which will, definitely be on the pre-show. So now you're up to 13 matches. In my opinion, you should probably end it at that. No more than 13 matches, because, I really don't want a 7-hour show. 5 hours, 6 hours, I can understand. But 7 hours, you're just going absolutely wild at that point. All right? I'm looking at the chat real quick. Todd Boy, 123. Yeah, good to see you, man. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Yes, you were here in the NXT TakeOver review last night. Good to see you back here. I hope you're enjoying the review tonight, man. If you enjoy, make sure to continue to subscribe and share it out to your friends. Let them know what we're doing here on Fitzmonk TV. I really appreciate that. But like I'm saying, I would not add, any more after the 13 matches I just said, because I really don't want a 7-hour, 8-hour WrestleMania. And you guys know I always do a live stream during WrestleMania, so that's going to be a wicked long stream. Plus, do a 1 hour, 2 hour WrestleMania review after that. That's absolutely wild. I'm going to be probably dead. Nearly 10 hours of wrestling, man. I can't handle that. I really can't handle that. Man, I know you guys can't as well, but still. Anyway, getting into the show tonight, man. Let's start with the Randy Orton Matt Hardy segment. So after what happened with last week with Matt Hardy and Randy Orton, we thought this was going to be the last we saw of Matt Hardy on WWE television. The reason for this was because Matt Hardy, we know his contract is expiring in the beginning of March, and we all believe he's going to AEW. He's AEW bound. Yes, I am. I'm always on the grind, bro. I'm always on the grind. You already know. The movement don't stop. Anyway. What was I saying? Yes. So with the whole Matt Hardy and Randy Orton situation, it was a surprise because it was announced earlier this week that they were going to do a street fight between Randy Orton and Matt Hardy. And, I was like, really? Are they actually going to do a street fight? Which I wouldn't have minded, but I just thought, I was like, probably not. But still, they did a video package. I'm getting kind of annoyed of WWE doing this in a way. You see, they did it with Charlotte Flair tonight. They did it, I think, with Becky Lynch as well. They keep having, every time a WWE superstar comes out to do a promo, they always have to have them point at the Titantron, say, oh, look at what happened last week. Like, why do you have to pause in the middle of your promo to let us see what happened last week. If you have a video package that needs to be shown to, recap us on what had happened last week, to remind people, to show new viewers that didn't watch or whatever, if you need to do that, why don't you do the video package before the promo? So it sets the foundation and it reminds everybody, okay, this is what's happening with this current storyline, whatever. Why does it have to be during the promo itself? I believe it personally hurts the promo by stopping the promo just to show the video package. WWE really needs to stop doing that. If you have a video package that needs to be shown, show it at the beginning of the promo. All right, and I think that would, it wouldn't disrupt the flow of the promo and it would make things much better. But anyway, they showed a recap of what happened last week between Randy Orton and Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy came out in a neck brace, and Orton tried to tell everyone that the no holds barred match was not going to happen. But Matt Hardy said he was going to fight even though WWE doctors told him not to. And I was like, okay, I can see where they're going here. I like what they're doing because if I'm smart, I would not have Edge reappear on WWE television until after Super Showdown. We still have plenty of time till WrestleMania. We still have we're about 48 days away. So what is that? 7 times 6. So we're under 8 weeks now. So you still have 7 more shows before WrestleMania. There is no need to rush Edge back. Randy Orton still hasn't given us a reason of why he did the attack. So if I'm WWE, what I would do, I'm telling you, wait till after Super Showdown. Hell, wait till Elimination Chamber to have Randy Orton and Edge really, start going at it. You're in no need to rush. That's one of my problems kind of with what they're doing with Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler, and Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. They started, telling the story for these feuds way too early. Because now WWE is having trouble. You can already tell they're having trouble finding ways to keep Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley and Becky versus Shayna creative over the next 7 weeks. Sasha Banks versus Bayley, that's the match I'm most hyped about. I know for a fact that we're getting that match. And I'm glad that Sasha's not on television right now. As much as I miss her, because she's the best female wrestler of all time, in my opinion. You guys already know how I feel about Sasha. My thing about it is, as much as I want Sasha on television, I understand. She's probably healed up from her ankle from now. She's been gone for a month and a half. She hasn't wrestled since the first SmackDown of the year. By not having her on the show every single week, you're making the fans anticipate more of her return, kind of like when she was gone for 4 months last year. And then when she comes back, and when they actually start, booking Sasha versus Bayley, setting the siege for that feud, it's going to be great. But the thing about it is, I don't know how they're going to do it, and we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to Becky Lynch's promo, because it looks like we might not even be getting a SmackDown Women's Elimination Chamber match. And I thought that would be the way they would set up Sasha versus Bayley, because I know we're getting a Raw Women's Championship Elimination Chamber match, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But anyway, back to Randy Orton. Matt Hardy talked about how he had grit, same as Edge, and I had no problem with what they're doing here. One thing I could tell is when somebody is leaving WWE, WWE loves to embarrass them on the way out. This is classic WWE. They're saying, "Oh, you don't want to be a team player? You don't want to stay with us long term? Okay, fine. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna embarrass you and make you look terrible on the way out. We're gonna humiliate you. Look at the Revival." We've heard reports for months now that WWE's been trying to re-sign the Revival, and the Revival refused to re-sign. And they shouldn't re-sign. They should go to AEW. Just like Matt Hardy is most likely going to go to AEW once his contract expires in March. And the Revival have been booked terribly. WWE gave them the SmackDown Tag Team Championships last fall in efforts to hopefully trying to get them to re-sign. And the fact is, I heard some numbers about the deals that WWE wanted the Revival to sign, and they were absolutely ridiculous. The amount of money WWE will offer talent to re-sign with the company just so they don't go to AEW is ridiculous. Here's the thing, WWE. If you don't want someone to go sign with another company and leave WWE, Book them better. Treat them better. It's a simple concept. And I don't understand why WWE doesn't understand that simple logic. It makes no sense. No sense. Alright? But anyway, back to the Randy Orton situation. Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy is a legend in WWE. We all know that. He'll be a WWE Hall of Famer. He'll probably go into WWE Hall of Fame twice. Once with the Hardy Boys with his brother Jeff, and once as a singles competitor. You know? But he's still leaving WWE. So WWE, it doesn't matter who you are. If you leave the company, they're going to humiliate you on the way out. Legend, jobber, it doesn't matter. Alright? That's the way WWE operates. Alright? They hate losing superstars to other companies. The simple solution is book your superstars better and they wouldn't leave. Alright? But anyway, Matt Hardy is walking to the ring and he's ready to fight. Randy Orton, Randy Orton was like, why are you getting in this ring? You know one RKO will knock you out. Like why are you being an idiot right now? Yes, and Randy Orton was saying, I respect you, I respect everything about you, Matt, but just like I respect Edge. But, after what I did to Edge, you don't understand why I did it. Because I not only respect Edge, but I love Edge like a brother. And this is where I was starting to get an idea of where they're going with this storyline with Edge and Randy Orton. What I think, personally, what they're doing here, yes, Randy Orton, he's, psychologically, something's wrong with him. It's part of his character. He's a viper. He's always mentally conflicted. What I think they're doing here is Randy Orton, what he's, doing, not only is he mentally unstable, but he loves Edge. And what he's trying to do is, but what he did, the attack he did on Edge 3 weeks ago, the night after the Royal Rumble, what he was trying to do is, he was trying to save Edge. He saw how hard it must have been for Edge to come back after having, what we thought would be career-ending neck surgery, believing that he was never going to be able to compete again, right? Well, now that Edge is back, Orton's like, I don't want to see him get hurt again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take him out before he could get hurt again. I'm doing Edge a favor in the long run by taking him out now so he doesn't have to be forced to retire again later. That's what I personally think they're doing right now with Randy Orton. And if I'm right, I'm going to tell you guys right here on the podcast. We don't know yet. We do not know yet. But once we do find out, I'll make sure to talk about it right here on the podcast. Like I said, there is no rush for WWE with this storyline. They do not have to rush for Randy Orton and Edge. Yes, WrestleMania will be here before you know it, but we still have 7 more Monday Night Raws and SmackDown before we can even get to WrestleMania. There is no rush for them to get through this storyline, in my opinion. Take your time. Wait till Super Showdown. Wait till Elimination Chamber. I love what they're doing right now with Randy Orton. It's absolutely awesome. So basically, Randy Orton then says, "I'm sorry," to Matt. I'm sorry, and then he walked away. But just like he did the Edge, just like he did the Matt last week, his music played. He basically got all the way to the top of the entrance ramp, and right when it looked like he was about to leave the arena, he runs back down and he assaults Matt with a steel chair. He hit him with an RKO, and then he was about to do another concerto. But instead of doing the concerto, he walked away thinking he was done. But no, he runs back a second time, pulls Matt Hardy out of the ring, places him on the steel steps, and he does a concerto to Matt Hardy on the steel steps, not once, but twice. Absolutely. And those chair shots actually looked real. WWE showed footage of fans in the crowd, how emotional they were. Because I'm not going to lie, that first concerto on the steel steps looked brutal. It actually looked brutal. It didn't look like he had the chair slanted to the side or anything. No, it looked brutal, and I absolutely loved it. If Matt Hardy, thought he was going to be able to fight this week, well, he'll be lucky if he's even conscious after the attack this week. No way we're seeing Matt Hardy return on WWE TV after the attack we saw tonight. That was absolutely vicious by Randy Orton. All right? To boy 123. I don't really attack. I'm not a big action figure kind of guy. I have some Dragon Ball and WWE figures, but I'm not a big collector. You know, they're more just collectibles that I keep, you know, in my boxes in my room. Nothing too major like that. Thanks for the question, bro. But anyway, man, this was absolutely great. I just love Randy Orton right now. Love, man. Randy Orton, he's good as a babyface. He can get stale sometimes. When Randy Orton as a heel, when he cares, is absolutely awesome. And, you know, I was thinking tonight, you know, with Drew McIntyre, because I believe Drew McIntyre is going to defeat Brock Lesnar and become WWE Champion at WrestleMania, which I think should be either Drew McIntyre versus Lesnar or Sasha Banks versus Bayley. One of those two matches should be the main event of WrestleMania, in my opinion. But anyway, I'm just thinking of opponents for Drew McIntyre after he beat Brock Lesnar, and the names that was coming to my head: a heel AJ Styles, a heel Seth Rollins, a heel Randy Orton. Man, the feuds that they could do for Drew McIntyre coming out of WrestleMania, they could do another Brock Lesnar match if they wanted to. I'm saying, man, Drew McIntyre, if WWE does not book him as a dominant WWE champion, who we have been waiting years for Drew McIntyre to finally get to the top of the mountaintop. I'm just saying, man, this kind of heel Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, man, take my money. Take my money. What Randy Orton's doing right now in this storyline is absolutely awesome. It's nothing short of awesome, man. You know, no pun intended by The Miz. But I love what they're doing right now with this storyline. And, man, they're keeping it organic and fresh. When Edge does come back, and they let us know, you know, why Orton did what he did, you know, it's going to be great. WWE is booking this perfectly. This has probably been the best booked WWE WrestleMania feud so far. Out of all the matches that we know is taking place, this has been booked to perfection so far. And I can't wait to see what they do with Randy Orton going forward. This was easily the best part of the match of the night. Easily. Next up, we had Aleister Black versus Eric Rowan. I'll say this, you know, there's not much to say here. You know, I guess they've kind of cooled down on the whole Eric Rowan jobber marathon. You know, when Eric Rowan was just doing stuff for that stupid cage every single week. But this was good because at least Aleister Black, he's not facing a jobber. He actually is facing more unique opponents now. Aleister Black versus Eric Rowan. It wasn't terrible. This was actually a pretty good match. For a TV match, this was pretty good. The intensity was fast. I'm telling you, Eric Rowan's not bad in the ring. You guys know this. You know, have you guys not seen Eric Rowan versus Randy Orton a couple years back? Did you guys not see Eric Rowan and Luke Harper versus Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns at, I think, Survivor Series last year? This was great. All right, like intensely. Eric Rowan basically puts Aleister Black to the limit. Eric Rowan tried to put Black in the Iron Claw, but then he hit not one but two Black Masses for the victory. I like this. This is the Aleister Black we should be getting on the main roster. Hard-hitting matches, and this is how you build him up. Like I said, I would love to see Aleister Black in the main event or IC title picture. You can put him in either one. The guy is that good. I'm actually happy that they're actually building up Aleister Black a little bit now. All right? I don't know if we'll ever find out what's in the cage. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Shayna Baszler in the cage after she turned into a cannibal last week on Monday Night Raw. But next up, we had Charlotte Flair. She explains why she chose Rhea Ripley. If you guys didn't watch NXT Portland, NXT TakeOver Portland last night, if you guys haven't been sleeping under a rock as of late, you guys know that they are booking Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania. And there's pros and there's cons to this, of course. If you guys saw NXT TakeOver Portland last night, you guys would have seen Charlotte Flair. She attacked Rhea Ripley from behind and basically took the mic and said, "I'm facing you, Rhea Ripley, at WrestleMania." And she basically came out tonight and explained why she did it. But I gotta be honest with you guys. Charlotte, and if you guys saw me on Twitter tonight, I was very sarcastic when talking about Charlotte Flair on the mic. You know, I actually said Charlotte Flair had a good promo. If you guys couldn't tell, I was being sarcastic. You guys know, anybody that knows knows me knows how much I hate Charlotte Flair. I can't stand her. She is not good on the mic. She's not. She sounds like a robot. If you really don't believe me, just go back and watch this promo tonight. She first comes out and then she, points to the WrestleMania side. Then she points to the Titantron, and I already bitched about this earlier. How they show a video package of NXT Takeover Portland and Charlotte's attack on Rhea Ripley, and then she goes on talking about how she had to fight for everything in NXT to become the queen she is today, and how people like Rhea Ripley, as good as they are and talented as they are, they haven't had to work half as hard as she has. She also kind of gave a shout out to Becky, Bayley, and Sasha, the other 4 horsewomen, because she said the current class of NXT women are nowhere near as hardworking as my class, which is the 4 horsewomen class, since basically all 4 of them came up to the main roster around the same time, other than Bayley, who came out a couple months later. But you guys get what I'm trying to say here, man. But Charlotte's not good at promos. She's not good at promos at all. So, she actually was being kind of hypocritical. She was talking about being entitled. How Rhea Ripley feels that she's entitled. Rhea Ripley, she's just grabbing the brass ring, as they say in the wrestling business. She's going out there and she's calling out, one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, supposedly in Charlotte Flair. You guys already know, I think Sasha Banks, AJ Lee, names like those are the best women's wrestlers of all time. But anyway, you guys understand what I'm trying to say. My problem here, man, is Charlotte Flair's talking about being all, entitled. Charlotte Flair is in no position to be talking about entitlement. Look at your career. Your whole career you've been successful your whole career. The only reason why you're as big a star as you are today is because you're entitled by Vince McMahon for the fact that you're Ric Flair's daughter and you're a blonde. I don't want to hear that hypocritical bullshit. I don't. Charlotte Flair has been entitled her entire career. Yes, she performs very well in big time situations. And yes, she is the real deal. She's great at what she does. In most aspects, she's not good on the mic at all. Alright? But still, you guys get what I'm trying to say here. Charlotte Flair, she is going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. She's not the greatest. It's nowhere close. It's nowhere close. I don't want to hear this nonsense. She should not be a 10-time women's champion. She at best, she should probably be maybe a 5, maybe 6-time women's champion. Not 10 times. So you're a 10 times women's champion in 4 years because you've been entitled your entire career. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Really? Come on. The fact is, you beat Asuka a week before WrestleMania last year for that stupid triple threat bullshit? What? You beat Bayley at Hell in a Cell just so you can become a 10-time women's champion so you can drop the title 5 days later? You beat Becky Lynch at Money in the Bank for the SmackDown Women's Champion to hold that title for all of 2 minutes when Bayley cashes in. And all the times you flip-flopped the title against Sasha when Sasha should have never lost the title to Charlotte in the first place. Let's not talk about Hell in a Cell 2016 in Boston when I was there, my hometown, when I cried when Sasha lost to Charlotte. Come on. Really, come on. Why does nobody understand this? Charlotte is not as great as people think she is. This promo was terrible tonight. And if she wins against Rhea Ripley, I understand putting Charlotte back in NXT to help the women's division, to help NXT get more of an edge against AEW in the Wednesday Night Wars. I understand that, especially because Charlotte's defeated and faced almost everybody on the main roster already. Right? Because WWE hasn't booked Charlotte correctly because they had her beat everybody and made all the matches that you could have done with her, all the feuds you could have done with her, stale and make feuds that we don't want to see. I understand putting Charlotte in NXT. I think it's a smart move. But Rhea Ripley needs to beat Charlotte at NXT at WrestleMania. If you want to send Charlotte Flair to continue feuding with Rhea Ripley after WrestleMania, I'm fine with that. But Rhea Ripley needs to win at WrestleMania, not Charlotte Flair. She does not deserve another women's victory. She doesn't need the victory. In my opinion, she should not even be in a women's title match at WrestleMania. She should have never won the Royal Rumble. Let's be honest here, folks. Let's be honest here. To boy 123, I see your question. It would depend on how long I held the title for. Like, as disappointing as Becky Lynch's title reign has been, hey, I'll take a nearly 1 year title reign over being a 10-time champion with like reigns that are like 2 weeks, 5 days, like Charlotte Flair's title reigns. I would definitely take a 1 year title reign over having a 5 title reigns that only lasted a couple days. And that's why I feel so bad for Sasha Banks. She's the best female wrestler of all time. Like, you guys already know, I feel like Sasha Banks is the best female wrestler of all time. But, she has 4 title reigns with not one successful title defense. And that's all on WWE's fault. Because WWE wanted to, give it to Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Absolutely bullshit. Anyway. Man, I had to get that off my chest. We had a 24/7 championship triple threat match. Richard Moss versus Mojo Rawley versus R-Truth. This was the first triple threat match ever in the history of the 24/7 championship. It's been nearly a year now since we've had the 24/7 championship. I don't remember when Mick Foley introduced the title, but it's been nearly a year now. But, I didn't really pay attention to the match. The match only went on a couple minutes. It wasn't terrible. Really, it wasn't terrible. It was nice to see the 24/7 championship actually defended, Thank you to Boy123. I appreciate your comment about Sasha Banks. This is the Sasha Banks fan club here on Fitzbone TV, as any of my loyal subscribers. But anyway, it was nice to have the 24/7 championship defended. Let's keep this consistency off. Let's make the 24/7 title actually feel a little more important. In my opinion, the 24/7 title feels more important than the Women's Tag Team Championships. I gotta be honest with you. At least the 24/7 Championship is defended. Asuka and Kairi Sane, it's been 2 months since TLC, and they haven't defended those titles at all. They don't even have challengers for those titles. Like, come on, let's be serious here. But Richard Moss won when he got I think he pinned Richard Moss, he pinned Mojo Rawley 1, 2, 3 for the championship, and the retained title, and that was it. I just had to check the notes because I really wasn't paying attention during this match. All right. Next up, Drew McIntyre versus MVP. I loved MVP back in the day. Probably because he's black, I'm black. I'm a big supporter of black superstars in WWE, of course. This was set up. You guys remember last week we had the MVP Lounge segment between MVP and Drew McIntyre. This set up this match, and I didn't really watch the match. The match lasted it didn't last that long. It didn't last that long at all. McIntyre came out and he did a kind of funny moment where he decided to do the 3-2-1 Claymore thing and had the fans pose with him as he pointed to the WrestleMania sign. Like I said, each and every week Drew McIntyre is getting more and more comfortable as a babyface, and I like where they're going with his character. And then Drew basically said the same thing he's been saying the last couple weeks since he won the Royal Rumble. He promised that he would defeat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And Paul Heyman came out. And teased that Lesnar was in the arena, but we both know he wasn't. I expect Brock Lesnar to probably be at Monday Night Raw next week, since it is the go-home show 2 Super Showdown. Probably to do a segment with probably both McIntyre and Ricochet. That's probably what they're going to do next week to go off the air. That's my prediction. All right, I expect Lesnar to probably be there next week for the go-home show for Super Showdown, since he's defending against Ricochet. Even though Ricochet doesn't have a chance in hell to beat Lesnar. Anyway, but Paul Heyman came out. Basically, he didn't say much. He basically said how he respected Drew McIntyre, how much of a beast he was, but he's still going to lose to Lesnar at WrestleMania. But tonight, he has to deal with MVP. MVP came out, and basically he got on McIntyre for cheap shotting him with the Claymore last week, and how he's going to make him pay this week. But McIntyre absolutely destroyed. He ran through MVP. Like I said, this really didn't matter much because, let's be serious here. Drew McIntyre doesn't have anything to do till after the Elimination Chamber. That's when they start really going hard with this Brock Lesnar-Drew McIntyre feud. Like I said, you don't need Drew McIntyre on television each and every single week. You don't. Give the guy a break. Let him rest up, get ready for WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need him there every single week. These matches, these segments with MVP the last couple weeks have done nothing for the WrestleMania feud. They don't mean nothing in the long run. And MVP, man, as much as I loved him back in the day, he should not be in a WWE ring in 2020. All right, I've heard rumors that he's coming a backstage producer. Yeah, go focus on that. Focus on that. You should not be in the ring in 2020. Next up, we had Becky Lynch come out, and honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've been bitching and moaning about this every single week now. I like Becky Lynch a lot. I loved her earlier last year. I was a huge Becky Lynch fan until they had her beat Sasha Banks at Hell in a Cell with that bullshit. I'm still pissed off about that. And ever since Hell in a Cell, you guys have known that I've been complaining more and more and more about Becky Lynch each and every single week. And, I really can't stand it. All right? Becky Lynch has become stale in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you need to turn her heel. Or maybe, I just don't know. JD from New York, you guys know how much I love JD from NY. I love his reviews. He said it best on his podcast last week. He said that Shayna Baszler was going to expose Becky Lynch. And I kind of agree with that statement. I really do. Because Shayna Baszler absolutely, looked bigger and more of a badass than Becky Lynch tonight. Becky came out, she had a new jacket. It's like Becky has a new jacket every single week. But Becky had a fire jacket. I know she's calling herself the GOAT. No, Sasha Banks is the GOAT. Don't get me started on that. Becky Lynch's 1 year as Raw Women's Champion has been very, very terrible. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Other than her matches with Sasha and Asuka, her reign has been disappointing as all hell. On her jacket, she had one side being the man. She had the GOAT thing on the back. And on the other side, she had logos of, the big names that she beat. She had Sasha, which pissed me off seeing that. She had Charlotte on there. She had Asuka's logo, and then she had Ronda's logo at the top. Which it's a cool-ass jacket. Just pissed me off. Because Becky should have lost the title to Sasha. And yes, even though she's beaten big names during her reign, still, her reign has been disappointing. Other than her Sasha and Asuka matches. I don't care what anybody says. But you guys won't say that because you guys are big Becky Lynch fans. If it was anybody else, yeah, you'll be bitching and complaining. But Becky Lynch came out with a bag of money, and I think it was real money. She started throwing 100s around the ring like, "Ooh, Becky, look how rich you are." She was basically saying, "Oh, this was a, preemptive payment for the fines that she would be given for what, the pain that she would cause once she got her hands on Shayna Baszler." But honestly, I was like, it didn't do anything for me. Like, yes, you threw a bunch of hundreds around the ring, a couple $1,000s at most, right? We know Becky gets paid a couple $1 million a year. On top of that, all the money she makes from her appearances and, merchandising. Like, we know, Becky, you're making a lot of money. A lot of money, and great for you. You deserve it. You're pretty good at what you do. But, it doesn't matter. You've been stale for months for me. Stale. Stale as bread that's left on the table for too long. I just want to feel. But then Shayna Baszler shows up on the Titantron. And, she basically told... Basically, the whole point of her promo was say she's going to Elimination Chamber. She's going to win the Chamber match. And then she's going to go on to beat Becky at WrestleMania. And... I loved what Shayna Baszler was doing here, man. The intensity, she talked about being in a cage is her environment because she was a cage fighter before she came to WWE. So this is her environment. The one thing I'll say that didn't make sense about this is, yes, they did say that Shayna Baszler is from NXT, but I feel like they should explain, is there some kind of deal with NXT and Monday Night Raw? Like, is there some kind of deal? Can NXT superstars show up on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown whenever they want? You know what I mean? Because Raw and SmackDown and NXT are supposed to be exclusive shows. You know, and there was no announcement that Shayna Baszler had been moved up to Monday Night Raw. She's not getting moved up officially to Monday Night Raw until after, you know, WrestleMania, when we have the Superstar Shakeup or draft or whatever, right? So that was just my one little confusing thing about that. But yes, they did announce tonight that they're doing a Raw Women's Championship Elimination Chamber #1 Contenders match, which that's a lot to say right there. But yes, so basically I believe the names they announced: Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan did a promo tonight where she promised to beat, to at least eliminate Ruby Riott from the Elimination Chamber. Asuka's going to be in there. Sarah Logan's going to be in there. No one cares about Sarah Logan. She'll be probably the first one eliminated. Shayna Baszler, and I think Natalya. All right, Kairi Sane's not in there, but Natalya. I would much rather have Kairi Sane in there than Sarah Logan. All right, it should be a decent match. My only thing is here, everyone thought they were going to do a SmackDown Women's Championship Elimination Chamber match, because we all thought that would be the perfect way to set up Sasha Banks versus Bayley for WrestleMania. But now we don't know. Now we have no idea where they go from here. You know, they'll probably do something. Like, probably Bayley will defend against somebody, then turn on Sasha, or maybe Bayley attacks Sasha in some way. They'll definitely do something to set this up for Sasha versus Bayley. But I thought, you know, doing it in the Elimination Chamber would be the best way possible, since Sasha and Bayley have so much history inside the Elimination Chamber. But, you know, we'll just have to wait and see until the Elimination Chamber to see what happened. You know, Shayna Baszler's going to win. There's nobody else in that match that, you know, is believable enough to, you know, give Becky a run for her money. You know, Asuka, but Becky's already beat Asuka twice in the last month. You know, Natalya, get the hell out of here with that. Sarah Logan, please, cry me a river. Who else is in that match? Ruby Riott. I wouldn't mind Ruby Riott and Becky Lynch, but I really want Becky Lynch to lose the title. I'm over Becky Lynch at this point. Who else? Who's in that? Liv Morgan? Maybe down the line. Yes, I think Liv Morgan has championship potential. Kind of like Sonya Deville over on SmackDown. But she's not there yet. Let's focus on, you know, Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott going forward for now. Alright? It should be a decent match. You know, I'd much rather have a SmackDown Women's Championship Elimination Chamber match. But it is what it is. Shayna Baszler is going to run through the competition. I loved how Shayna Baszler at the end said, "I'm going to tear the shit out of you." She legit said, "I'm going to tear the shit out of you." Like, absolutely badass. Shayna Baszler looked like more of a badass than Becky Lynch tonight. And, you know, JD said on his podcast last week, this was going to expose Becky Lynch. And we're already seeing the signs of it already, and this feud just started. You know? Like, let's be serious here, man. She has zero chance. Zero chance. You know, I love Shayna Baszler's a badass. She's a badass. Becky did say, thanks for letting me know you'll be at the Elimination Chamber. I'll be waiting for you. So they're already teasing. Right after the match, right after Shayna wins, Becky will definitely beat her to confront Shayna. My problem here is Becky has nothing to do till WrestleMania. And what I mean is, she doesn't have anybody to face. She's just waiting for the Elimination Chamber, which is still 3 weeks away. And then after that, we still have like another 4 or 5 weeks before WrestleMania. Like I said, I feel like they're rushing. They could have gave Becky another opponent, you know? They could have, like I said, they should have done like Becky Lynch versus Kairi Sane for the Elimination Chamber, and then have Shayna Baszler do her attack on Becky. Because I feel like it's going to be hard for them to book Becky versus Shayna over the next 8 weeks and keep us, you know, creatively invested. You know, creatively invested till then. That's just my way of thinking on that. Let me know what you guys think, you know. But yeah, we're gonna fly through the rest of this card pretty quickly. You know, after this, I'm not gonna say the card got bad. It just not a lot happened really. We had Bobby Lashley and Angel Garza versus Rusev and Humberto Carrillo. You know, I'm actually taking a liking to Angel Garza a lot. I really like him and Zelina Vega. I think Angel Garza and Zelina Vega may even be better than Andrade versus Andrade and Zelina Vega. I can definitely see them doing something like a. Because Angel Garza, he was a babyface down in NXT. He still is in NXT, but I think WWE should consider turning Angel Garza babyface on the main roster, having Zelina Vega betray Andrade, and then potentially doing something like a babyface Garza versus Andrade feud for maybe the WrestleMania pre-show. I can definitely get behind something like that. Maybe you can even have Rey Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo get involved and do a fatal 4-way for the U.S. Championship. There's definitely options they can do here with these 4 men. But I like I said, I like the pairing of Garza and Zelina Vega. I think they fit really well with each other. But then we had the match itself. I didn't really care about the match, even though what I heard it was a really good match. The ending is really good. I'll say this: Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, man, when they actually do have their match, it's gonna be something special. I can definitely see maybe a United States Championship feud between these two going into the summer months if Garza is indeed staying on WWE TV going into the summer. This was a great match. Good lucha libre action. And then Bobby Lashley, he did his part well, kind of being a balance with the power. Rusev, all this. So at the end of the match, Rusev hit Lashley with the Mosca kick, but out of nowhere, Garza rode him up. 1, 2, 3, got the victory there. So that's how they got the victory in this match. And to boy, I hear what you said. What do you mean exposed? What I mean exposed is Becky Lynch isn't all that she said she is. Becky Lynch has said. All right, what I mean about Becky Lynch exposing, Becky Lynch is not the man that she says she is. She's not this ultra badass. Ronda Rousey is more of a badass than Becky Lynch. Sasha Banks is more of a badass than Becky Lynch. Asuka is more of a badass than Becky Lynch. Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, they are more of a badass than Becky Lynch. Becky's not this badass that people claim she is. When Becky was chasing after Ronda, when she was chasing after Asuka, back in the day when the man character was just starting to be formed, that's when Becky was at her best. I feel like Becky is at her best when she's in the chaser role. When she's in the championship role, I just feel like, I just don't care as much. I really don't. She doesn't really have that chip on her shoulder the way she is when she's chasing after championships. Shayna, Sasha, Bianca Belair, names like that, champion or no championship, they always give you that badass mentality. Becky only has this when she's chasing after titles. That's just my opinion. I know there's going to be people out there that disagree with me, and I know I get a lot of criticism for the way I feel about Becky. I loved Becky. I did until they, her Sasha Banks feud, and until I actually realized how protected Becky is and how political she's become in the last year, since she's reached the top of the WWE. But that's just my opinion. So I just wanted to explain that to you really quick. Anyway, Natalya versus Kairi Sane. This was a good match. It was decent, all right. There was some good, in-ring action tonight. It didn't mean anything. This was just a match to fill time. Kairi Sane got the victory here after Asuka kicked Natalya when the referee wasn't looking, causing a countout. You don't see a lot of countout victories in WWE. But like I was saying, Asuka and Kairi Sane, are they ever going to defend those women tag team championships again? Like, what are you going to do? Watch, this is what they're probably going to do, and they should probably do this at the they're going to do this for the pre-show. They're probably going to do like a fatal 4-way tag team championship match. Probably Asuka and Kairi Sane, maybe against the Iconics, because I know the Iconics are being repackaged right now. Probably against Bliss and Cross, and maybe Fire and Desire, Sonya and Mandy. Hey, they might do something like Lacey Evans, because you know how WWE loves their blondes. They love Lacey Evans. They might do like Lacey Evans and Carmella teaming up for something like that. I don't know. Anyway, Seth Rollins gives a sermon to the WWE universe. This was okay. I'm gonna be honest, you guys. I get a little annoyed with Seth Rollins. That's because he talks way too much. The guy's great as a heel. I'm loving what they're doing with him as a heel. He now has this whole new Messiah Titantron. Even though I'm pretty religious myself, it's hard for me to get behind it. But I like the gimmick and I like the character. But the guy just says the same stuff every single week. Every single week. And then basically what happened here, he talked a lot. Then the Viking Raiders. It's the same shit every single week with this feud, and it's becoming annoying. It's becoming annoying as hell with this feud. I don't know if I'm the only person that thinks this, but they're just losing my interest. Because, yeah, I feel like this feud is going all the way to WrestleMania, but at this point, they're doing the same match. Same 6-man tag, 8-man tag every single week. No matter if it's different partners, no matter if it's like the Big Show or Joe or somebody else, I'm just kind of getting tired. It's the same stuff. And yes, I know they're building towards the day when Kevin Owens and company finally get the big victory over, the Messiah and his minions, but still, man. Anyway, all this what happened here is the Viking Raiders came out to attack Rollins and the rest of the gang. Rollins, Murphy escaped the ring. Then Rollins sends Murphy back to the ring to provide backup. Kevin Owens hits Rollins with a stunner from behind. This would lead to a 6-man tag in the main event. In the main event, the match was okay. I didn't really care for it. I was just waiting for the match to really end so I can come on here and do the podcast. But at the end of the match, the Rollins causes the interference again, right as Owens is just so close. Every week Owens gets closer. Right when he's about to get victory, they do something, some kind of fuck finish or disqualification happens to keep Owens from getting the victory. Honestly, that was that, really. The Street Profits came out. I'm kind of happy because at least the Street Profits have something to do on WWE television. I would love to see the Street Profits versus AOP in a future Raw Tag Team Championship feud. So definitely I think this is going to be good for the Street Profits. Owens now has more backup. We'll just have to see what happens. Samoa Joe was not on the show tonight. I think he's still recovering from his concussion injury. Whatever. But yeah, it's not bad. I'm just finding, losing interest in this feud day by day. Anyway, last thing I want to mention is AJ Styles is back on Monday Night Raw. I was happy to see AJ Styles. Man, he's my favorite male wrestler on the main roster. You guys know this. Love AJ Styles. Basically, you guys know they're teasing AJ Styles versus Undertaker at WrestleMania. We talked about this on the SmackDown Live review. And basically, I knew where they were going with this. They had Ricochet come out. This led to an AJ Styles versus Ricochet match. No, it led to a Carl Anderson versus Ricochet match. And I knew Carl Anderson was going to win because you're not doing AJ Styles versus Ricochet right now. Why would you do that? AJ Styles just got back and you're trying to make AJ Styles look strong for his Undertaker feud that's supposed to start. Because AJ Styles was talking about the legends in his promo tonight. And we know that, we're getting AJ Styles versus Undertaker or Goldberg, something like that at WrestleMania. So Styles calling out the legends tonight. That's going to get the attention of Taker or Goldberg eventually. We see. And you don't want Styles looking weak. And you're not going to have Ricochet lose when he's supposed to be facing Lesnar for the WWE title at Super Showdown. Even though we know he's going to be losing. Alright? But either way, this was not a bad Monday Night Raw. That was about it. I really wanted the focus of this review to be on the woman. Talking about Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch and Shayna, and the Randy Orton segment, which was absolutely fantastic. But other than that, guys, that's where I'm going to end tonight's review. I want to thank you guys for joining me right here on the Legit Shoot podcast. If you guys haven't yet, check out my NXT TakeOver Portland review. Check out my SmackDown Live Valentine's Day review. I'll be back with more daily videos throughout the week. SmackDown Live review on Friday, as always. Thank you guys for the love and support. Make sure to subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Enable notifications by clicking the bell next to my name, Fitzpunk TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. Follow me on social media. The link is in the description down below. Have a great night, guys. Peace.